Hello you wonderful people, and welcome back to another episode of Chatting Comics with me, Comic Rob, in the comic room. So today I want to talk about movies and TV series that got converted into comic books. So that could be anything, it doesn't have to be superhero related, it doesn't, you know what I mean, it's whatever I've got in my collection. I want to show you guys. I don't want to just pull images off the internet, I want to show you what's in my collection. So I'm going to do it in stages, and we're going to start with movies and TV series. So this is Chatting Comics, let's get into it. So let's start it off with an easy one, guys. That's right, Indiana Jones. Lovely and classic. What more can I say about this? A movie done with Harrison Ford. It just follows on the story of Indiana Jones. It sort of fills in the gaps between the movies. It fills the gaps in before the movies, after the movies. What more can I say? It's Indiana Jones. You've always got to love it. Even the artwork is just classic. There's no big bold colours here. They just want you to believe this is an actual story, not just something made up like they're superheroes. This is a normal guy. It's so colourful, and it shows everything you want. It depicts everything. There's no blurring. You just see the detail in the characters' faces and the shading. It's unreal. It is a lovely read and a lovely run of comics. So next in the firing line is Terminator. That is right. So what can I say about Terminator? Terminator is Arnie. Arnie's always been Terminator. He will always be Terminator. But again, I've only ever seen these comics in little runs of 4 or 5 comics. I've never fully seen them in their own series. They may have their own series. The ones I've got, they sidetrack off of the movie storyline. They kind of have their own storylines. Again, they're very small 4 comic runs. But don't let that fool you, because these things, done by Dark Horse Comics, by the way, which have always been one of my favourites, because they've always kept that classic feel to all their comics. Even if their art style is very much of that classic style of comics, where it's very bold colours on like black shading. It's very, you compare it to the Indiana Jones beforehand, it's a lot darker, a lot more darker shadings across the faces, and just a lot more block colour in general. None of these pastel colours. It's very much your primary colours coming out in this. This is wicked. So let's continue with what everyone already knows is a comic as well as a movie. That's right, we've got Alien. So Alien, I love the first 3 original Aliens. Don't get me wrong, the whole Prometheus line of movies was good. AVPs and the 4th movie, I probably could have done without them in my life, but I've already watched them. They were alright, they weren't the strongest movies out there. But enough about the movies, we're here to talk about the comics. The comics are absolutely wicked. So, the Alien comics I do have, they are very modern. They are more the modern versions rather than anything classic. I can't seem to find any classic comics depicting Alien anywhere, but that just may be my luck at this point. So these are kind of their own run, basically. They're not depicted on what goes on in the movie. They kind of have their own storyline, and again, sticking with those primary colours, that 3D effect, more focusing on the shading, making you believe these characters are alive and they are actually going through something, but again, not following the story of the movie. So now we're going to try and get into more of the interesting stuff that you probably didn't realise are actually comics. Now the movies are already gone. So we're going to start with Independence Day. This is a number 0. So this was actually done to answer a lot of questions, like when was the dad abducted by the aliens? When did the spaceship crash in Roswell? What did they do? The backstory to Will Smith's character. The backstory to Jeff Goldblum's character. So that is right, you get to see Jeff Goldblum's character punch the president in the face. It does get referenced in the movie, but this is where you can actually see it. So this is all basically like a prequel to the movie. Literally leads up just before the aliens turn up. It's a really good read, and again, looking at the art style, it's very realistic. They've tried to really keep it so you know who these characters are. When you're basing characters off of actors, you've got to stick close to the truth, otherwise it looks crap. So you all know it, you all love it. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Superman 3, the official adaptation of the movie. That's right, Superman 3. What more can I say? Christopher Reeves, people. It's absolutely classic. So I got brought up on the first two Superman movies, so Superman 1 and 2. They will forever be classics for me. I've just got massive nostalgia for them. Superman 3 I saw many years later, and it obviously, like, that whole scene with the woman getting possessed by the computer and stuff like that would have freaked me out as a kid anyway, because that looks scary as fuck. But I think this does a really good job of depicting Superman. They've kept it really classic to the Superman style, and they just follow the story perfectly, even to Superman fighting himself in the junkyard, which was ridiculous. So you're never going to believe this, I got Superman 4, Quest for Peace. That's right, I got another movie adaptation of Superman. It is the fourth one, which I don't actually remember seeing. In that time of my life, I think I just fell out of this whole superhero genre. It just fell past my radar. It happens sometimes, you can't see everything, can you? But it is a really nice comic. It's done in that more of a modernist style than the Superman 3 was. Again, which isn't always a bad thing. They needed to upgrade it so you could tell the more of the facial expressions and what these characters are actually going through, and other aspects of the comics. Being the fact that I've never seen the movie, it's kind of hard for me to say whether this is a full depiction of the movie, but it was still a really good read. It was really fun. I read it more of a Superman comic rather than an adaptation of a movie, so it was really fun. So this next one's a real interesting one. I've not seen anything else like it. I really want to try and collect the others. I think there's 3 more, and I want to see what's in them. So this is the prelude to Thor Ragnarok. It was done as a promotional thing for the movie. Like I said, it is a run of 4, so there's 3 more for me to try and find. But this follows the Edward Norton storyline of the Incredible Hulk. This sort of just after the fights, just before the fight scene, when he hulks out. Before he fights the guy, he will become Abomination later on in the movie. Spoiler alert. I can't put my finger on why I like this comic so much. The colour palette is awesome. The detail is awesome. The characters just look like they're popping off the page. It is such a good rendition of what happens in the movie. If you don't want to watch the movie, a lot of people say it's one of the worst Hulk films out there. But I didn't think it was that bad. It was great as a lead up, more than anything. But they've done just so well with this. It's really worth finding it and having a read. So going back to what everyone already knows, that's right, we're going to Star Wars. Star Wars has been around for ages. Again, some of my favourite films, Star Wars, the originals, are always going to be classics. But they did go off on their own storyline tangents. So I don't know a lot about the High Republic. I know a little bit about the Old Republic and stuff like that. You have those storylines and stuff. But then you have this as well, the Operation Starlight. So this is kind of the filler comic between the New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. So this kind of depicts why they were on Hoth in the first place, what mission they were trying to do, and how they were going to try and succeed on it. So it's not just a random occurrence that they were on this planet. There was a genuine reason, and this is a little bit of a filler comic to make out why. As a special treat, I'm going to show you some of the other Star Wars comics. That is right, I have these two. These are from episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and I don't know if you can tell, but they are actually signed, the pair of them are, and they have letters of authenticity. These things are rare as fuck for me. I don't often see this sort of stuff just lying about. I don't even see it in comic shops a lot, and if I do, it's normally stupid money they want for it, and it's just not possible. These I actually found at a car boot, and I've got a really good deal on them considering their age and considering the fact that they're sealed. So we're going to move away from movies just for this second. Right now we're going to talk about the TV series The Flash with Grant Gustin. I love this series, and even my missus loves this TV series. It's absolutely wicked, and this is just another depiction of it. It's season 0. I don't know why they called it season 0. They just have. It's after he gets his powers, so technically it's not season 0. But now I'm just being picky. but this is really good. It does follow the TV series, not 100%. It includes the TV series, but it goes on its own storyline, so it doesn't spoil anything for anyone. It has Barry running around doing loads of different things and fighting different villains than which is normally on the TV series, but it has all the same characters that you know and love from the TV series, which I kind of like. And again, the art style is quite different to the normal Flash, very much of that prime colour and blockiness, so I kind of like it. So I've got another Flash TV series comic to show you, and it's not what I've just shown. This is it. It's from the 80s. This is The Flash. That's right, it's a TV special. So this is really wicked. This has so much information just about the show alone. And that's it. They absolutely crammed everything into this. There are 2 new comics starring the TV's Flash in this, plus behind the scenes with the Flash and about the TV series, and a complete first season episode guide. You don't get this kind of thing anymore. This is awesome. They shoved as much as they could to promote the TV series as much as they could. The artwork is fantastic. I don't know if it's following an episode or not, but I think it's really cool. They've stuck to that classic Flash artwork style and illustration. It's awesome. Plus all this information about the TV series. What more could you want? Going back to the movies now, this is where it all gets really interesting for me. This is more of a graphic novel. That's right, we have Batman, but it's the original Batman. We got the Michael Keaton Batman, not the Adam West. But this is one of my favourites. I love this comic so much. It has some of the best artwork, I feel, in a long while. They really captured Jack Nicholson's face and his just personality, and the whole Joker personality really comes through in this comic, and that's my opinion, but I think it really does. It's worth trying to find this. It's so good. As far as movie adaptations go, this is what you want. It literally has everything from the movie, including all the jokes and everything like that. It's just so colourful, so well depicted, and just so well written. I love this thing. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking around if you've made it this far. We're on the last comic now. Oh, what a journey. Thank you again for sticking around. If you've stuck around this long, tell me what the name of the last comic is in the comments, and then I know you've watched the entire video, and I'll give you mad respect for that. So, we are on Michael Jackson as Captain EO. That is right, I think I said that right, but it's a Michael Jackson comic. I don't ever see this stuff just in the wild normally. I got this at a car boot, would you believe? I bagged and boarded it. It did have a bag and board. They was all split up the seams and stuff. But this is the official 3D comic book adaptation of the George Lucas 3D musical motion picture. That is right. It was done at Disneyland, if I remember rightly, and now presenting exclusively at Disneyland and Walt Disney World. Yeah, so it was a Disneyland exclusive thing. It has the original 3D glasses in it. You don't find this. It's done by Eclipse Comics. I got 2 Eclipse Comics 3D glasses. You don't find this stuff just knocking around. So, oh, it's just awesome. Well guys, sorry that it's been a longer video than normal. Thank you for watching. I've really enjoyed doing this video. I've gone through a lot of comics and I want to do more of this anyway. But thank you so much for if you stuck around for this long. Tell me in the comments that you did. I'd love to know what you think, basically. Remember guys, you guys are awesome. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next.